This is a special place on the Fox River. I think all of us know in Illinois that we are blessed by God with wonderful natural resources. We have many rivers and Lake Michigan as well, and it's very important that we be good stewards of God's earth. And being right near the Fox River today is, I think, a reminder to all of us that our mission is to turn things over to our kids and grandkids better than we found them. And that's why I'm for John for Congress. I'm endorsing him today. He's a man after my own heart. He's a grassroots candidate who believes in everyday people and fighting for folks who live from paycheck to paycheck. Economic issues are really hard right now for many, many people in Illinois and in the 14th District. And it's very important we have a champion in Congress who fights for the men and women who get up in the morning and raise their kids, get them off to school, go to work work hard at a job, then come home at night and pay those bills and keep it going. Those are our heroes as far as I'm concerned in Illinois, the men and women who are raising kids and paying taxes, working jobs. We've got to fight hard for them. And particularly in Washington, we need to have advocates for taxpayers and consumers and veterans. And I'm very, very impressed by John's distinguished record of service to our country, wearing the uniform of our country. I think it's very, very important that we have veterans in Congress who can fight hard for all of us, for our democracy, for our fundamental liberties, to make sure we have a foreign policy that expresses what the American people want. And I think John has the training and experience and the service ethic to really make that happen. Tomorrow we're burying a soldier from Illinois. I'm sorry, Friday it's going to be at the funeral in Roanoke, Illinois. And we've lost many, many soldiers from our state and from our country. And it's very important that all of us here in Illinois, the land of Lincoln, remember those who give their last full measure of devotion to our country. And that's why it's so important to have people in Congress who understand the importance of our military, of our service, all the branches of service, and to make sure that we do things right here in America and around the world. And that's why we need new, fresh faces in Washington, and that's exactly what John is all about. He knows the world. He served in Africa as well as in the Middle East. He has, his dad is here today, I know. He's a missionary who served in West Africa. So I think the whole family, the Laesch family, has been always devoted to service. And there's a famous expression, I heard it from a doctor in Southern Illinois not very long ago, that service to others is the rent we pay for our place on God's earth. And I would say to you that John Laesch has more than paid his rent in service to others. And that's what we need in Washington as a congressman, someone who understands the ethic of service, helping everyday people, folks who don't have friends in high places, who don't have big campaign contributions, but those are the people who have made our country, and we've got to fight hard for them in Washington. And I mentioned to one of the folks here today that several years ago, I guess it was 2001, almost 7 years ago, I walked across Illinois with my doctor, Dr. Quinn Young. And we started at the Mississippi River, Centennial Bridge there in Rock Island, and we walked across our state all the way to Chicago and Lake Michigan on behalf of decent health care for everyone. And we walked across the 14th District, towns like Plano and Yorkville and Aurora, and we met a lot of people along the way, folks who are worried about their health care and their family's health care and their neighbors' health care. And so it's very, very important that we elect congressmen and send them to Washington and make sure we straighten out our health care situation in Illinois and in America. It's not right that hardworking people, people who have served in our country, served in the military, we have 1.7 million veterans in the United States who have no health insurance whatsoever. And that's not right. And so we need a congressman who's got some vigor and enthusiasm and energy and ability to go to Washington and straighten things out. we want every American to have decent health care. And that starts with our veterans, the men and women who have worn the uniform of our country, who answered the call to duty after 9/11 in particular, went forward in the face of danger. They're serving in Iraq. They're serving in Afghanistan. When they come home, we want to make sure they have decent health care, a good job, an opportunity for education, the American dream. And that's why having a veteran running for this office of Congress, going to Washington to speak up loud and clear on behalf of our veterans and our taxpayers and consumers, that's exactly what we need from the land of Lincoln. Without further ado, I'd like to ask John Laesch to come forward and say a few words. John? There we go.
I'm going to keep it brief. I know some people are taking time off their lunch hour to come down here, and I thank everybody for coming, but certainly thanks for coming down here and offering your support. This is a very meaningful endorsement for our campaign, and I'm truly honored to have someone who has shown that by running a grassroots campaign, listening to the concerns of the people of Illinois, that they can get elected. We don't have to subscribe to the big money system that forces politicians to sit on the phone and raise money all day. And then to run those negative TV commercials. We can run a positive campaign that talks about the issues and the issues that people care about, the middle class, the people that are, as Governor Quinn said, living paycheck to paycheck. And certainly we appreciate all of that he's done for veterans in this state, because as Lieutenant Governor, you don't have to do those things. You don't have to get out there and fight for the people who don't have a voice in government. But that's what he does on a daily basis, and it's truly an honor to be here and to have that. So thanks everybody for coming out, and certainly thank you for lending your support to our campaign. I look forward to winning and sending a strong veteran to Washington who's going to fight for the middle class and who's going to fight for veterans and fight for the people that have lost their voice in politics.
Well said, John. Very well said. I just want to say one more thing. Now, what is today's date? Is that today's the 16th of January?
22 days.
Okay, 22 days to the election, but 44 if you don't sleep. So we don't want anybody sleeping here. We want to get John elected there and nominated on February 5th and on to election after that. And I think if all of us work as hard as we can and talk to as many people as we can get the job done. So, all right, go get him, John. You'll do well. Okay.